Alright, so we are coming into the Rockport Trailhead here. And these school buses you see here, these are the buses that bring the rafters up to this. This is one of the areas that they get in the water. That's Jay riding up ahead. I foolishly put the other camera in the bag. I'm doing this with the cell phone. Anyway, if you were to go to the right here, there's parking up that hill. We're not going to go up there for now. We're going straight ahead to the rest stop here. This is some indoor bathrooms. These are really nice. And this is really your only opportunity for a bathroom break between Whitehaven and Glen Onoko. And when you get back to Glen Onoko, you're almost to Jim Thorpe. All right. Alright, leaving Rockport here. Even though there's some interesting things to stop and see, we're going to ride straight through to Independence Junction. And why are we doing that? That's because the next bike train, which should be up in Whitehaven right about now, unloading passengers, we're going to catch the train itself coming back through Independence Junction. You guys know I got to combine rail fanning with biking, right? So guys, I'm standing up and giving it a bit of throttle. This is the point in the trip, especially after a lunch break, you do start feeling it. We're a little bit past the halfway point. We'll be taking a nice break at Independence to do some photography and watch the train. And then we're on the final stretch. We only really have to go back to Glen Onoko. Got some kayakers in the water today. Camera's probably not picking that up, but there's a number of big rafting groups out and kayakers. In my opinion, it's way too cold for that, but people who are really into the water sports, it doesn't stop them at all. I'll stick with the trail for this time of year, though. So we're a little bit north of Independence Junction. Hard to say exactly how far north, maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles at the most. We've been riding in and out of the sunshine here. Today's a nice cool day. This is typically the part of the trip where things really warm up on the trail. I'm about 8 miles from the Glen Onoko parking lot, about 10 to 11 from downtown Jim Thorpe. And this is the part of the trip you definitely start feeling fatigued, even if you're on an e-bike. So on a typical warmer summer day, you would come out into the sun here, and it would start to feel a little rough, but today's still chilly, and we're feeling good. A little sore, a little fatigued, but temperature-wise, we're good. Alright guys, and here it is. This is known as Independence Junction on the railroad, also known as Old Penn Haven, and if you're following Norfolk Southern, it's known as M&H Junction. We've been riding on the trail bed of the old Central Railroad of New Jersey, and right in front of me here, off to the left, this is now Reading and Northern Tracks. That's the former Lehigh Valley Railroad. And this spot we're coming up to, this bridge crosses Black Creek. And where these tracks come together up ahead, that is Independence Junction. We're going to stop before that, though. This was formerly the town of Old Penn Haven. Believe it or not, guys, there was a hotel, a post office, and I think a railroad control tower and some other buildings here. What you're seeing right in front of me was actually a turntable. And this used to be a location that was only reachable by rail or boat. Now it's really only reachable by rail and bike trail. Or boat, I guess. But we are going to wait here. We are going to catch the return of the second bike train of the day. And then we will continue our journey back towards Glen Onoko. You can learn about Penn Haven Junction from this sign over here. The old incline planes went up that mountain that you see in the middle of the screen there. There was a turntable right here. And they have done a lot of clearing of vegetation since I was last out here. Here's the foundation of what was one of the buildings. Now, for those of you who watch my channel regularly, you know that the last couple months on Sundays, Norfolk Southern's H66 freight train has been coming through here, passing through Independence. Now, I haven't filmed it out here yet, but it would be taking this track right here, about 5 miles west to Weatherly Station. You've seen a lot of shots that I filmed from Weatherly Station. It's a great place to film. And just above Weatherly Station, that's where the old Lehigh Valley Hayes Creek branch came into as well. That's that bridge we explored earlier in this trip. Alright guys, that was the 12:30 bike train returning through Independence Junction. It's now 2:31 here. Our conductor John had told me earlier they'd be here around 2:30, and that's probably about the time that they came through and I started filming. Jay and I are actually going to go about a quarter mile back up the trail in that direction. There's a rock that overlooks the river. We visited that on the last bike train trip. It is a wonderful spot to sit, get some sun. See, there's a little bit of blue sky. We might get some sun, let's hope. And it's a great spot to watch the river. There's a surprising number of rafters and kayakers out today, and I want to do that eventually, but it's fun to just sit there and watch them go through.
You take a request?
Check this one out. Guy's got a bucket on his head. Comes in handy if you have to bail out some water, I guess. Uh-oh, uh-oh. There's someone in there. Oh, nice save. That bright green kayak there, I thought the guy was going to go over, but he saved it. Nice job. Now, this is something Jay and I have been talking about. Jay bought an inflatable kayak. He hasn't had it out on the river yet. But Jay and I have talked about coming out here and doing the whitewater rafting and possibly kayaking. Something I gotta admit I'm a little nervous about doing. I've never done anything like it, but the past year working on the train, I've seen a lot of people on the river, and it's something that's definitely piqued my interest. And we'll see, guys. Maybe that'll be an adventure later this summer. Personally, I'm going to wait till it's a lot warmer than today to do it. So this is the spot that I was telling you about when Jay and I were at Penn Haven Junction watching the train. We said we'd come back up here. Right now I just see a lone raft coming along, but they're forever coming around that bend up ahead. There's a kayaker over there too. See them as they come around. Ah, and here comes some more. Told you they'd be coming around the bend.
They be coming around the bend when they come.
So I hear a train a-coming. Oh, looks like they're going to take a break here. That's probably a good spot for a break. Looks like everybody out on the water today is wearing a wetsuit. They're bailing water. I love the water, guys, and I'd love to be doing this someday, but not today. It is chilly. And you can see, hope you're not afraid of heights, guys. I'm not. Because we're that close to the edge. And that water does look cold. Alright, so this is the only point on the ride other than Jim Thorpe Station that you have to cross the railroad tracks. So you do want to be careful doing this here. If you're going to ride across them, approach them perpendicular, and more importantly, look both ways, make sure a train's not coming. And rest assured, I did that. Whole big group of rafters off to the left. We are heading down to Old Penn Haven to catch the 3 o'clock Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway excursion coming in. Just past mile marker 114. And I parked at mile marker 108 in Glen Onoko. That's right by Rockport Junction, also known as Cole. That means, guys, I've only got 6 miles left to go. Now, if you were going the whole way into Jim Thorpe, it would be closer to 9 miles. But I did that part of my ride earlier this morning, and now just have to get back to Glen Onoko. Guys, you gotta see Jay's last video. I was working on the train that day, on the Gorge train, and they literally sprinted as fast as their bikes would go to try to catch my train, and they came around the curve and there was the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway receding into the distance. I give them an A for effort, F for result. Brings back memories, right? So just south of mile marker 127, we come to Old Penn Haven. And if you know the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, this is where our train stops. Our engine does the runaround and then continues back to Jim Thorpe. We're here, we got a few minutes to spare, but we're gonna watch the 3 o'clock train pull in here. We're gonna watch the runaround, and then we're gonna see what these e-bikes can do versus the train. Alright guys, you hear that distant rumble? And the horn, right on cue. That's the 3 o'clock Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway coming into Old Penn Haven. Hey! Those of you with a keen eye might also notice there is now a sign here that says Old Penn Haven. That was placed here sometime in the last month or two. Probably be like 15 to 20 to the pipeline. All right, handbrakes released. You need one of those like drag race Christmas tree. We'll let the train have a little head start. We don't want to make it too easy on them. Well, that was quite a chase, guys. Could have kept going, but I do have to watch the battery, and Jay and I had decided to go back to the old Tidewater oil pipeline, and we did. Have to come back here someday and do the full chase this way, guys. What do you say? Something you want to see? Waving to the rafters and kayakers in the river below. Alright, when you reach mile marker number 122, which is just before the Glen Onoko rock cut, you're almost there. And you're probably feeling about as worn out as I am. But you're almost there. The riding actually gets easier. This is where the gravel part of the trail, at least in this section, ends. And we're going to veer to the left through the parking lot. There is another restroom facility here. It's not as nice as the other two, but, you know, they say when you gotta go, you gotta go. And it's your last chance for a rest stop before you get back to Jim Thorpe. So Jay and I were both feeling it. I think me more so than him. You can tell he's been both doing the stand up and throttle it quite a bit. He's done some rides this year. This is my first ride since we did the bike train last June. I did not film that trip. That was just a pure day off for me. But I wanted to bring you guys along this time. But you know where I'm not going to bring you along for? The restroom. Sorry guys, you're going to have to come out here and explore that for yourself.
Well, you're no fun.
I'm no fun. Jay says I'm no fun. Yep, that's right. But I'll show you where it is, and it is right here. Alright, so for us, this is the home stretch because we parked in Glen Onoko. We're not going all the way back to Jim Thorpe. So if you did stop and use this rest area here, what you want to do is turn left. Now this is the only part of the ride where you do have to contend with vehicular traffic, other than the Jim Thorpe parking lot. But you'll ride through this little parking area, and then there's this wooden bridge that crosses the Lehigh River. When you're on a bike, it's easier to just stay on the car lane here. The pedestrian lane's a little narrow, and there's usually pedestrians on it. So you're better off just staying in the car lane like Jay and I are doing. And then you can ride close to the fence here, and then you'll see just up ahead, after that private crossing gate, the trail will pick up. It'll be on our right-hand side. You can see right up ahead past this crossing gate. The trail actually does split off from the parking lot. So you do have a guardrail separating the trail from the traffic. And you can ride either on that pavement, or you could get over onto the trail portion here. It's your choice. And finally, guys, after 25 miles of pedaling, over 9 hours, I'm back at Rockport Junction. You can see our signal tower here, and you can see my truck just ahead. Alright guys, I love this bike, but after 25 miles of riding, I'm ready to be off it. I actually parked a little bit up there. Jay is still with me here. He parked down that way. We decided to do our outros about halfway in between. We got someone coming on the trail. But it did turn into more of a train adventure than either of us expected. I'm actually going to be breaking this video probably into 2 videos for me, 2 for the Railroad channel. So you guys are going to have 4 videos total to watch. They're all going to be different and cover different aspects of the day. I don't know what I want to say next.
Getting like me.
Yeah, I am getting like you. Let's let these people go by. Hello. Alright, so I've run out of words, and you guys know that doesn't happen often. So I'm going to let you go here. I'm going to let Jay get back to his car. But I want to thank Jay for coming along on this adventure with me. We did this ride last year, and both of us chose not to film, to just make it a day off. But I've never really filmed this trip for you guys, and I wanted to do that today. And thank you, Jay, for being a part of that. And I'll put a link to his video in the description of this video. Be sure to check out his take on today's adventure as well.
My pleasure. I had a good time.
Glad to hear it. We'll do it again?
Hopefully, yeah.
I hope so.
Sign me up.
All right. I know where we can get tickets.
I know somewhere we can get e-bikes.
All right. See? He's got the bikes, I got the trains, so works.
It's a win-win.
I love it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks and see you down the trails.